So this is the We Get Outdoors 6 in 16 interview series where we introduce you to some of the world's leading outdoor and adventure gear brands and the brains behind them. Your chance to get a real behind the scenes look into what's currently happening in their brands, what the future brings for them, and we just know that you're going to fall in love with them. So 6 questions, 16 minutes. David, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, David, who are you, and why should we care?
So I'm David. I'm the co-founder of Nutshell Coolers, and at Nutshell, we've been working for the last few years with coconut farmers and factories in the Philippines to make amazing products out of agricultural waste, starting with the Nutshell Cooler. So the heart of what we do is back there in the Philippines. This started as a graduate school project. It's a business now. It has been for the last couple of years. And so to tell you a little bit about the backstory, coconut farmers in the Philippines grow coconuts for the meat inside of them. But we found out that they are just stuck with all of these husks at the end of the day. So these husks pile up by the thousands on farms, and they're ultimately burned as garbage there. So instead, we buy those husks from the farmers, we extract the fibers from the husks, and we turn those fibers into insulation for Nutshell Coolers, completely replacing plastic foam in all of our products. And so in doing so, we're not only avoiding a lot of carbon dioxide emissions from those husks that are no longer being burned, but we're also providing an extra source of income for some of the poorest farmers in the country. That's really sort of what got us started on this project in the first place. And now we're really excited to roll out this product, the Nutshell Cooler, really to be kind of an everyday adventure bag that works well, it looks great, and it's connected to the people and the materials on the other side of the world that make this thing happen.
Awesome. So beyond that, I mean, what should people know about Nutshell Coolers?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing to know is really that this product was born out of really deep partnerships with our partners in the Philippines. It started with environmental NGOs, and it started with small communities, farming communities in the Philippines, and they're really genuine, relationships. So we don't just sign a contract with a factory. We've spent most of the last 3 years in the Philippines working with these farmers and with these factories to do some really elemental R&D and supply chain work to make something that no one else has made before, and really extract value from this material that has been completely overlooked. And so, you can feel pretty confident that every time you buy a Nutshell Cooler, you're really benefiting farmers on the ground in the Philippines, and you're really supporting some interesting research and development with our close partners and friends who are doing something completely new in the Philippines on the manufacturing side.
Superb. Now you've already answered a lot of the next question, but let's be brutally honest. There is a stack of cooler manufacturers out there. Like those bad boys are all over the place. So what is it that sets you apart from all of those people?
Yeah, I mean, I won't keep going on about the materials, but obviously, first and foremost, we are using natural fibers instead of plastic foam. And that's a huge difference. I mean, there are a lot of cooler manufacturers, and that means a lot more plastic foam in the world. And that plastic foam is not going away anytime soon. So, we're starting with biodegradable materials at the heart of our products. And so that's kind of the first and most important thing that sets our products apart. But also just to call out sort of another interesting part of our cooler is that it's completely collapsible. So this isn't like your big heavy thing that you have to lug around and that takes over your closet or half your garage. It's collapsible. You can throw it in the trunk of your car. You can unfold it when you need it, but it's lightweight, it's easy to use, and it's just a lot of fun.
That's incredible. Now, this isn't on the questions that I sent you, but this is a curiosity that I've got in my head, and that is obviously the sort of traditional plastic foam that goes in coolers has a certain amount of thermal properties to keep hot things hot or cold things cold. How does the nutshell material you use compare to that?
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's been kind of the heart of what we've been working on with our partners in the Philippines for the last several years. We couldn't just smash a coconut and stuff it inside of a liner and call it a day. So we've been fine tuning that sort of recipe book and process for a couple of years now. But really, what got us excited about this material in the first place is that there are some innate properties about the coconut fiber that make for amazing thermal insulation. And that's because inside of these fibers at a microscopic level are lots of trapped air pockets. So these are hollow fibers. And basically it's that trapped air that's doing the exact same thing that plastic foam is doing. It's stopping thermal energy moving from one side of the cooler, the inside or the outside, and back and forth. And so when we realized that we were starting with all of these mini trapped air pockets, it was really just a matter of kind of unlocking that potential and optimizing the manufacturing and processing. But we were starting from a good place. We worked with a lot of different materials getting going, and we found that coconut fibers were just, had some really interesting properties, thermal properties that made for good performance. And we sort of started out just about on par with sort of polystyrene foam, a fairly low grade thermal foam. And we've been getting better and better each iteration from there. So we can compete with just about any plastic foam on the market from a performance perspective at this point.
Wow, that's super cool. I love it. And all out of coconut shells. What more could you ask for? So the next question is, well, what is the big secret thing you're currently working on that your customers will love? Now, I have to apologize because when you tell us, it won't be a secret anymore. But come on, tell us the answer.
Yeah, this is definitely secret 101 is don't tell the internet about it. But yeah, I can provide a peek. One thing that our customers love is, okay, I'll do two quick things. One is just purely aesthetics. We've been getting great feedback on some different color patterns and making colors that are actually connected to sort of the earthy world and the roots of the product. And so we have some really nice colors and materials coming out soon. But on a more serious note, we're also trying to do a better job kind of spotlighting the actual people, the farmers who have sort of grown up those coconuts and are responsible for the materials that are inside of your cooler. And so we're hoping to do a really cool and fun kind of spotlight of the actual farmers that we know well, and that we're helping to support with these purchases, and really telling that human story on a very individual level, and with some great little videos from sort of their lives in the Philippines and connecting it to your lives over here in North America. So two things to watch out for coming up from Nutshell.
Fantastic. I can't wait to see that. That's incredible. Now, like the past 18 months has been a weird old time for the outdoors and the outdoor industry. What do you think the future of it looks like?
I mean, I think the outdoor industry is going to come out of this stronger. I think pretty much everyone agrees that the outdoors is sort of the place to be during COVID, and I think it's going to get a lot of people hooked for after COVID as well. I think it's totally a growth industry, and I think we're privileged to see that growth not just in the U.S. but even in places like Southeast Asia, where outdoor adventures and outdoor sports are becoming wildly more popular every year. So even on an international basis, and even in sort of these growth markets, I think the outdoor industry is in for growth over the coming years. In particular, I think we're super excited about the potential here because outdoors might be in, but we're also seeing people just becoming much more conscious and thoughtful about their purchase behavior and their power as consumers. And I think the outdoor customer base is made up of particularly thoughtful people. And so, when I think about our product and how that fits in, I have to say that the idea of people, gravitating towards the outdoors, but buying more plastic products to do so just doesn't really make sense to me. So I'm seeing people, get super excited about plastic alternatives and going plastic free when they're going outside. And so I think that's really the future of this industry is minimizing plastic while getting outside. And I think companies and brands that can make that happen without sacrificing performance and tell that story in a really compelling way are going to have a lot of success in this industry moving forward.
I agree. I met a guy the other day who's manufacturing, or is a big business in Europe manufacturing kayaks, which are traditionally made out of plastic, but he's doing it all out of bottles that have been harvested from the ocean. And I think that is a fantastic way forwards in terms of the whole world and stopping using more fossil fuels just to make something that you sit on or drink out of or eat off. I think it's fantastic.
It makes sense too, because these are people who want to be going outside and connecting to nature. And so, naturally this should resonate with them. You shouldn't be sacrificing nature in one place to enjoy nature in another. So I think, it's a perfect story for people to connect with.
It is. It's fantastic. So last question, there's loads of people who get out there in the outdoors, but what's your message to them?
Yeah, I think, I think going outdoors is a lot about disconnecting and having a moment of relaxation. But I think as much as I totally support that and use the outdoors in that way myself on a very regular basis, I think I would say, don't take it for granted. We should be thoughtful about, the ways that we're interacting with the natural world, and we should, take seriously our responsibilities with our dollars, how, the products that we buy and the ways that we get outside, because, that little outdoors oasis that you have, it's not guaranteed that it's just going to stay like that forever. So I think, continuing to be really conscious and not taking for granted, the outdoors just being there undisturbed forever, but really sort of standing up and fighting for what you believe in. And I think there's a ton of great causes that you can support, so that the outdoors is always there, not just for you, but for people all around the world who deserve it, just like you do. So I think just don't take it for granted and do what you can to make sure it's there in perpetuity.
Perfect. I love it. So folks who are listening, I'd love to encourage you all to go and check out David and Nutshell Coolers. You can visit their social media or website somewhere in the description around this interview. I'm not too sure where, up or above or somewhere. So go check them out and follow, subscribe them, all that usual stuff, or jump on board with the Nutshell Coolers Kickstarter that I think is launching in a few weeks' time. And you never know. You might get yourself a screaming deal of a Nutshell cooler. Who knows what's going on? David, thanks for your time today, and I hope the rest of 2021 is epically successful for you and everything Nutshell Coolers.
Cheers. Thanks very much.